Hello there everybody, and welcome to this feature presentation on YouTube. I am King Mac, your hamburger pal. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to enjoy a hot fresh cheeseburger along with some delicious golden french fries, a tasty milkshake, and a nice soft drink. Also be sure to grab some hot buttery popcorn while you're at it as you enjoy this episode of TTBurger Game Reviews on YouTube.
I gotta stay awake, stay alive. It's all on me to find a way to make it in life. Have to believe or else the pain will take all the fight.
Welcome back everybody! It is I, Tony. You're back once again watching more TTBurger game reviews, and we continue with my Killzone franchise review here, episode 269, and we're on episode 269 part 2 of 4 parts. Looking at some more first-person shooter action in the Killzone franchise by the company Guerrilla Games. And we have a lot to talk about here, diving into the PlayStation 3 era of Killzone. Before I even get started, I want to give a shout out to everyone who has supported this channel for the last 7 years or so. The work you guys, this channel would not be as big as it is today. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all, because this channel would not be as big as today, and it's getting more popular each day. So thank you all for the support, and stay tuned. There's more PlayStation 2 action and more on this channel. And before we can even get started here, we're diving into the PlayStation 3 era of the Killzone franchise. I know I'm leaving out Killzone Liberation stuff like that, but I'm not really gonna look at the spin-offs, gonna own a portable console anymore. I don't really care for it and stuff. And Killzone Liberation is just a prequel spin-off. I didn't really care for it and stuff. I did try it. I mean, I appreciate it for what it was, but just I didn't really care for the PSP or the portable spin-off stuff like that. Before we can even get started, those of you missed what happened in episode 269 part 1 of 4 parts, let's bring this Hellgas edition of a TTBurger recap here. As it shoots its way over to show you all what you missed, I took a look at the original Killzone for the PlayStation 2 and I gave it a 7 out of 10 because there were a lot of issues in the game, graphical issues with like the draw distance, and the frame rate was not really good, and like the difficulty was unbalanced, and there was some issues with the gunplay and also in the game, but it did affect it. It's a good game. It's better than Halo and stuff like that, and ignore the Halo ripoff claims and stuff like that, because this game is better than Halo by a long shot. But just saying there, for the first game in the Killzone franchise, it hasn't really aged all that well and it had issues, so that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10. But it's still a game worth checking out if you have a PlayStation 2 and want first-person shooters for your collection and more. Now we're going to zoom ahead to the year 2009, February 25th, 2009, back when I was still a sophomore in college, as we got a new Killzone game here, starring a new protagonist, Tomas Savchenko, aka Sev, and we got it right here. We have Killzone 2 for the PlayStation 3, exclusively released on February 25th, 2009, so let's get started. Killzone 2, the highly anticipated waited sequel to the first Killzone on the PlayStation 2. Fans of the original Killzone were eagerly waiting for this game due to how good it looked and how polished it looked, and how much detail there was in the game, and how badass and solid it looked as a first-person shooter. And you know, we were hyped up for this after they first announced it when the PlayStation 3 was announced and stuff and everything. We didn't know it was going to be a launch title or released years away and stuff that we didn't know, but we were hyped up for sure. When Killzone 2 was announced at E3, no one believed it would look as detailed as the trailer shown. Well, Sony proved to us that it can look like the trailer and be a fun, badass person shooter game, because this here is the best Killzone game in the franchise and everything, and also one of the best video games of all time, and so to this day holds up really well, better than most Call of Duty and Halo games, in which those two games are just ruin the first-person shooter genre and stuff. Of course, when this game came out, critics and Halo fanboys and totally fanboys that bitched and moaned, and boy, they bitched right. They bitched about the so-called weighted control scheme that Killzone 2 had in the game. Now, I should say that Killzone 2 had a different control scheme than other mainstream first-person shooters that gamers not used to. Well, the mainstream gamers, I mean. And they bitched, alright, because they didn't want to take the time to get used to the game and stuff. They just said, oh, this I hate the controls, fuck it, this game sucks and everything. And that's why people consider this game a failure when it's not. Let me say here, the controls do take time to get used to, with the buttons you aim and stuff and everything like that, and how you do the melee and stuff and such. But is it really weighted and impossible to get used to? No, not at all. You just have to spend time with the game and not rush through it like other reviewers and gamers did, because you rush through it and I'm trying to figure out how to play the game, you're gonna think it sucks when it doesn't suck. Because of them doing that, a lot of gamers consider Killzone 2 a failure, which is far from the truth because this is, in my experience, one of the best first-person shooters ever made, and I'll tell you why right now as we get started here. Killzone 2's story puts you in the role of a new protagonist, Tomas Shevchenko, aka Sev, of the ISA, taking place 2 years after the original Killzone. Captain Templar is now a leader of the ISA fleet. He's in charge of sending the fleet down to attack the capital city of Helgen called Pyrrhus, with the goal of arresting and deposing Emperor Scolari for wars and crimes and more. Among the ISA members of the attack, we have returning character Rico Velasquez, our main protagonist Sergeant Tomas Shevchenko, aka Sev, who's second in command and a veteran of the ISA Legion and more. The team is prepped for their mission, and the mission to secure Pyrrhus against the Helgen, the Second Army, and this time they are well prepared for the invasion with newly developed weapons and equipped that the ISA has never seen before, along with hazards of the plan that the Helgans are prepared more so before, and as Sev, along with Rico and other members of the ISA, the Second Army, they are ready for anything that will happen because this time the war is bigger, badder than before. The story I really like. I'm not going to say much more about the story because if I do, I'll spoil it because this is one of those games where you have to play the game, experience the story in its full glory. And I do really don't want to spoil it, that's what I mean. So yeah, let's continue. Well, unless you just want to keep talking about story stuff, but I'm sure you guys want me to continue because we're not going to be talking about this forever. We're here for hours to talk more about the story. Killzone 2 in the graphics department, we have some of the best looking graphics in a PlayStation 3 game, and still to this day the graphics look unbelievably amazing. Guerrilla Games put a lot of care, work, and effort and time into making this game look amazing. I mean, people say Halo and Call of Duty look great. Let's be honest here. Halo and Call of Duty, the graphics were shit, with little to no improvements whatsoever, and every time they release a new game in those franchises, they just slightly updated graphics, something that look worse than the last one and stuff, because they just don't care. Here, Killzone 2, the graphics look so good and realistic that they cannot get any better than this. Hell, I remember when the Xbox 360 came out, people saying Perfect Dark Zero was the best looking first-person shooter ever made. Well, this blows that out of proportion because this game is fucking amazing. Hell, even we thought Resistance Fallen Man looked amazing first-person shooter. This game looks better than this. Well, Killzone 2 looks better than Resistance, I mean. The character models have a lot of detail to them and move around incredibly lifelike, better than how they move around in games like Sound Scope, that's for sure. Remember those robotic rubber chickens you had to shoot and everything? Well, not really, but the environments are big and crisp, and they have so much detail to them, and the draw distance is excellent with no dips in the frame rate at all. The frame rate is so smooth that you'll wish other games were like it, but companies can take notice, and that's how you do it. The weapon models have so much detail to them that they look like real guns, especially with your default assault rifle with the green light on it and stuff. And like your M60D heavy machine, which I love those and stuff, but well, all of them look badass, even your pistols and magnums and everything. The explosions and death animations are very, very, very cool, and the cutscenes are awesome, making it feel like you're watching a blockbuster Hollywood science fiction futuristic action movie. There is one complaint though I have. Sometimes when the game loads a checkpoint or a new part, the level freezes for about 15-20 seconds for the game to load, and when it freezes that long, it makes you wonder if your game is broken. Killzone 2 shines in the sound department as well. The voice setting is top notch, even more so than last time. The actors sound completely into the lines recording them. They sound excellent, like they really are in the Helgas war, and can't get any better than that. The kick-ass music is badass at that. I had no opinion on the music last time, but you know, the music here is badass for sure, and I love it. Better than Halo and Call of Duty, that's for sure. The weapons all sound improved, like next-gen gun sound effects here at the best, and they can't get any better than that either. Even the atmosphere sounds are amazing as well, like make you feel like you're really there, like it feels real and everything, and it all fits perfectly like a glove. Killzone 2 shines the most in the gameplay aspect. You know, with sequels, they're usually supposed to improve on their predecessors, and indeed they do here. Everything that was included in the first game and almost all the problems here have been fixed and perfected greatly. What we have here once again is a first-person shooter and a complimentary excellent one as well. Gone are those problems from the last time. No popular frame rate issues or pixelated graphics from a draw and stuff like that, and no frustrating gunplay where it's very hard to kill the enemy stuff like that, and you'll run out of ammo very fast. And sure, they got regenerating health and stuff like that, which a lot of first-person shooters were doing that back then and stuff like that. But you know, since this game is so good, I'm actually okay with it because you know, like it's just like having only half your health when you're very alone, like in a gunfight and stuff. That was like, oh man, that was bad because you know, you're frustrating and stuff, frustrating. But some problems though still remain, but there are very few problems though that will not even be affected by that. Now, when this game first came out, Killzone 2. People ran in a rave, mainly the mainstream media gamers and reviewers all hated this game because of the weighted control scheme. That was much different from other person shooters, and because of this, people did not like this. They didn't like change at all. They basically did not want to take time to get used to the controls. And the funny thing is here, these people who bashed Killzone 2 did not even bother to go into the options menu and see that there are other control schemes you can select from. So do not listen to those critics and haters. They don't know what they're talking about. Pick the game up, pick a control scheme, and you'll enjoy it and stuff. They did that for people who are used to Call of Duty and Halo too. So maybe you should have looked at the options menus, you people, instead of just doing them, just picking this bashed it. Unless you think you were bored and didn't have anything else to bash and to do this. Hell, this is what you call an actual first-person shooter. Not that overrated Halo or Call of Duty or so. Here, Killzone 2 was done right and did their own thing here, and the end result is amazing. You have so many weapons to choose from. You can mount tanks, mount turrets and stuff, and mechs. Go to these big levels to complete the objectives like that. And if you ever get lost, you just press up on the D-pad for a little waypoint to show you where to go. And there's so many objectives here to do, multiple parts and stuff. And as Object was a very likable character, better than the other characters from the first game. My favorite weapon is once again that default assault rifle with the green light on it. But there are new weapons as well I enjoy, like heavy machine gun, aka M60. They're badass. I love them. They have a lot of bazookas and rocket launchers, and you got the flamethrower. The flamethrower just lighting people on fire, watching them run around in agony. That is really cool. There are only 10 levels in Killzone 2, but they're broken up into parts, and these are huge levels and long too. You also have puzzles that will start using the 6-axis tilt controls like that. There's turning a valve and arming a bomb and more. Just be careful not to blow yourself up. I wish more games did this 6-axis thing, but you know a lot of people like kind of stop doing that. You can also mess around in the menus and load screens with 6-axis controllers and stuff as well, and fun fact to mess with the menus too. When you beat the game, you feel satisfied because Killzone 2 has challenges and boss fights that will keep you on your feet, adding fun factor to the game. I know there's multiplayer, but I never played it because I have no opinion on it, because I never played it, so I don't know if the servers are shut down or not, but I'm sure they am because the game is over 10 years old. Killzone 2 is a fantastic sequel and a fantastic game, and you know, one of the best first-person shooters ever made, but we have some negatives here. You only play as one character, which is Jacob, which can be just disappointing for those who enjoyed the multiple characters in the first game, how it changed the past and everything. Some characters such as Luger and Haka are not in the game. Jean Templar is here, but he doesn't have a big role in the game, and a little spoiler here, he gets killed off at the end by the Hellcast. I said you can pilot vehicles, but there are only two parts in the game that have vehicles. There's like a tank and this mech and stuff, but over very fast. They could have gave you more levels where you could pilot vehicle stuff, because you know it's cool to be in the tank, but only one level though is just kind of frustrating there. And while the difficulty is more balanced, it can still be very tough at times. Some characters are unlikable, such as Rico Velasquez. He's not as unlikable as he was in Killzone, but still somewhat unlikable. The game is short, once again, only about 5 or 6 hours long, which is pretty short for a game released in 2009. Seb does not talk in the game, he only talks in the cutscenes that show him in it and stuff. No options for the subtitles in the opening cutscene. The long pauses when the game loads can be annoying, where you'll wonder if your game is broken or defected. But, you know, those are the only places I have about it, though. Because Killzone 2 is a fucking amazing game, and if you want to kill some Hellgas and have a great story and stuff and more and have fun, while thoughts of this game should not be overlooked, it's an excellent game, and you know, a perfect game as well. Yes, I'm going to give Killzone 2 a perfect 10 out of 10 because it deserves it. It's an amazing game that definitely deserves everything of that. You know, and it's sad that people hate the control scheme and didn't even give it a try, but you know, don't worry about the haters and the Halo fans, the Xbox fans, and that. You know, they don't know. They're probably just mad because they couldn't get their game on their console. They just had to bash and stuff. That's probably what it was. And that's it for episode 269, part 2 of 4. Stay tuned. We're going to take a look at the final Killzone game on the PlayStation 3, Killzone 3. Once again, starring Tomas Sarjego as they wrap up this Hellgas, Kick-Ass war and the fight and everything and more, released in 2011. How does this game fare? Have to find out next, which all I gotta say is Tony, peace and out. Have a great day and see you on my review of Killzone 3 for the PlayStation 3 of episode 269, part 3 of 4, here on TTBurger 8. Take care, everybody.